Welcome to Beyond the Torch. This is a super exciting episode we have today. It is our fantastic episode where we had Survivor fans from all over the world send audition tapes to join us on our podcast to talk all things Survivor leading up to the Survivor 50 premiere. We narrowed it down to 10 names, poured them in a bowl, drew it out, and we got 4 lucky Survivor superfans to join us. Welcome today.
Yay. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. This is so fun because we're recording this on Valentine's Day, but Survivor, we are going to air this the day before the big premiere of Survivor 50. So we can get everybody amped up and excited and reminding everyone of just how incredible this show is. I mean, the reason that Todd and I decided to even do this podcast is because it has changed our lives so much. And we knew, I just had a hunch we weren't the only ones. And so in interviewing all these different survivors, it's been a lot of fun to see that we aren't the only one. And just to kind of see the impact that it's had on the fans. It's just really, it's making me love it even more. And I didn't know that was possible. So thank you guys for putting in those videos. They were entertaining. Corey, you did a rap. I thought was fantastic. And I love that Atticus said he's never done anything like this before. So he is stepping out of his comfort zone. Bryce, yours was so entertaining. I could tell you had done something like that before. And Tricia, she's a mom who just wanted to be cool for her kids. And so I can fully relate. Yeah.
I can fully relate. Here's the best part of it, though, is Leslie and I started out as Survivor superfans. Just 100%. Like you guys, just like everybody who listens, we started out being obsessed with the show. And then we just got fortunate and picked to play the game together, which was incredible. So we know what it's like to be a fan. We still are fans to this day. So we're just very excited to have you guys with us.
Yeah, we're so a little starstruck to have our fans here. It's so fun. So I'm going to go around, if you guys don't mind. I think our listeners know who we are at this point. So introduce yourself, where you're from, what do you do for a living, and your all-time favorite Survivor player and why. So let's start with Atticus. We'll go with the alphabet here.
Oh boy. First up, hello everyone. My name is Atticus. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm an EMT. I work graveyard shift, so I'm doing this podcast on a couple hours of sleep this morning.
Thank you.
What else? My favorite Survivor player is here with us, and he knows this. I'm not just trying to kiss ass. Todd has always been my favorite winner, my favorite player of all time. I love strategic players, and Todd showed us a masterclass of that. So he has always been my favorite.
Thank you, Atticus.
Great answer. No, that was great. Okay, let's go with Bryce. You're next. Me and my alphabet.
I'm Bryce. I'm a marketing manager here in Ankeny, Iowa, just outside of Des Moines. So shout out to Denise and Sarah, fellow Iowa winners. But they're not my favorite players of all time. My favorite player, I have to say, is Queen Sandra, because she is truly one of the best to do it. She's so cool. I love her spunk, her attitude. And so I have to say Queen Sandra, but there's a lot of honorable mentions. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, of course. Yeah. She is the good one, I would say. She's just an all around good person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Great.
He was who I said in my finals for casting. I said Sandra and Rob C. So I agree.
Very nice.
Good choice.
Right, Corey, your turn. Corey, let's hear from you.
Hello, I am Corey Tugwell. I am from Greenville, North Carolina. I work full-time for the state as a mental health and substance use call agent, and part-time I own my own collectible toy antique business on the side. And telling me to choose a favorite Survivor is like choosing my mom or dad. I can't do it. So my 2 favorite of all time is Todd Herzog and Sandra. Sandra, because originally she was from North Carolina, so I always cheer for my local people. And then Todd, because he was, like Atticus said, a strategic mastermind and a Survivor nerd and loved the game. And so both of them I would rank side by side as my 2 favorites.
Good answer. Good answer. Thanks, Corey. And Tricia, welcome. Glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here. It's so wonderful to get to spend this time with you guys. I love the opportunity to geek out, talk about Survivor, especially with y'all. I'm Tricia. I am from Asheville, North Carolina, so another North Carolina person. I am a wife and a mom of 2 teenage boys. I am a Christian radio DJ. And
sounds familiar.
Yes, I know. I mean, I had some overlap, which is so wonderful and makes me love her even more. And if you can't find me at the radio station, I'll probably be on the tennis court.
Yes, that
And-
sounds fun. Who's
Yes,
your favorite Survivor player at this point?
The favorite Survivor. I mean, Leslie, you and I connect so much, so I feel like I lived it with you.
Yes.
I'm gonna choose, I think, Aubrey.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
why. I
She's
saw
great.
her transform. Like at the beginning, she was anxious and not sure and struggling a little bit. But as week by week went on, she just got stronger and stronger. And she's a mastermind. I'm just so impressed by her transformation. So I'm going to choose Aubrey today.
Okay.
You know what?
We
I
love
do love that
Aubrey.
choice because, like, I remember watching. I think it was like episode 2 or 3 of Cow Wrong where she like broke down,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Why is she even here?" But then her game just built and built and built, and I agree with you. Like, it was phenomenal to watch. I'm super excited to see her on 50.
Me too.
I know. Yeah. And I got to meet her after she was on the first time. And she is literally, I literally, we just connected so hard. You know, when you meet somebody, it's like, I've known you my whole life.
Yes.
That's how it felt. Like we were immediately best friends. Well, I mean, we're not, but you know what I mean? We connected really well.
You could
super.
be best friends.
We could be if we spent more time together for sure. So, all right, guys, we are warming up because Survivor 50 is just around the corner, and we are so excited to talk about, you know, your thoughts on the people who are playing and all of that. But before we get into that, let's go
Yes.
back a little bit. I want to ask each one of you, do you remember the exact moment when you said, this is a great show? What happened? What made you say, I'm never gonna not be a Survivor fan? Because I remember, I don't know if you guys want to hear it, but
Yes,
I
I
remember when
do.
it was. Yeah, it was season 2, watching Australia. I had watched season 1, kind of like, what a bunch of idiots. Why would they do this on purpose? You know, golly, ugh, stupid. And then I was watching season 2, and I don't know if it was the cast. I don't know what it was. I connected with so many of them. Like I loved Roger. I loved Tina. I loved Colby. I loved Elizabeth. Like the top 4 were like, I felt like I could hang out with them at any moment and be their besties. And so I think in that moment, I realized this is so much more. And then watching Africa and hearing them all say they would do it again in a heartbeat after they had been through hell, literally, I knew that I had to not only, you know, watch the show, but I had to get on it. I needed to know what it was that was going to draw them in. So that's when I knew. So what about you? Let's go with Bryce. When did you know?
Yeah, I was kind of a late getter into Survivor. So I watched Ghost Island, was the first one I kind of watched. In that finale between Wendell and Dom, I was like, this is intense. And you're telling me this has never happened before? I'm like, I'm hooked. So I was hooked at that point. And then Demon vs. Goliath obviously followed. And that season being such a strong season, I mean, I was just like, this is like the greatest show on earth. I was hooked. Went back during COVID and like binged every single season then. And I absolutely fell in love with the show. It was just the gameplay between Ghost Island and then David versus Goliath was unmatched.
Yeah, truly.
That's really cool. So here's something that I think a lot of people might agree with, but might disagree with. So a lot of COVID fans is what I call them.
Yep.
They underrate themselves. They're like, I started late. But COVID fans are freaking hardcore because they started late, but they binged 37 seasons in a year. And so they know all of the details. Like every COVID Survivor fan that I've ever met is like insanely hardcore. So never underestimate yourself. I love the COVID.
Oh,
fans.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like hardcore now. Like I mean, I'm going to all the idol hunts as I can possibly get to. I'm like, let's go and let's do this thing.
Love it.
I drove 5.5 hours each way to Kansas, 3.5 hours up to Minnesota. I was going to go to Nebraska on Monday, but the timing being from 4 to 8 p.m. is a little rough, but I'm going to maybe try and make it work. But I'm driving everywhere, as many states as possible. This is Survivor.
I know, right? Wow. I went to the one in Utah. It was insane. It was
I
so
saw that.
insane. I went with Nalia and she wore her little oh my heck hat. Nobody knew who I was. It was hilarious. I was like taking everybody's pictures. They're like, would you take a picture of me with Nalia? Will you take a picture of me with Tyson? I'm like, sure. And like, then somebody finally went, you know, she was on Survivor too. And they were like, what? What season? What did you get? It was funny. It was very humbling. I was like, oh, okay. I get it.
Girl,
But
if you'd
anyway.
found that idol, you'd have been, they'd have known you.
I know. It's so true. Okay, so Todd, what about you? When did you know that you loved the show?
Oh my gosh. So season 1 started, and I remember I was young. I was like 15 years old, and I was outside playing on my neighbor's swing set. Okay. And my mom called out because we didn't have phones or anything. So she screamed out of the front door and she was like, "That jungle show you wanted to watch is on." And so I came running home, and I remember just watching, and I was really confused at first. I was young and I was like, what is going on? But then tribal council happened. And I remember them walking in this like tree house looking thing. And it grabbed me. I was like, this is crazy. This is awesome. And so I was hooked right then. And then it only grew stronger. Like each season progressed as I understood how it worked and what was going on and how they changed locations and the theming of it all. I was, super.
You were done. Got it. All right, Tricia, let's hear from you.
Oh, wow. I had kind of a rebirth into Survivor fandom. When it first came on, I actually applied to be on it. I was living in New York City, Southern girl in New York City. I was like, concrete jungle. Hey, I could take on the real jungle. So I sent in a tape, didn't get chosen. But in hindsight, I think I just wanted to be on TV, right? So I mean, I liked it, but I didn't really know much about it. And then recently, literally as recently as this year, my son, first year college, came back home. One of his friends had turned him on to Survivor. And so he started binge watching. And then my younger son started binge watching. So then my husband and I started binge watching. So then we're like you said, the COVID fans, we're like doing that. We're like binging, talking about it, texting about it, speculating about it, all the things. We were having so much fun together. So that's how I got back into it. But the moment that really hooked me was the David and Goliath moment. I loved the David and Goliath season for sure. And when they brought back the family members, and they just all sobbed as their family members came in. And I mean, my heart broke for each and every one of them. And I realized how powerfully I connect with these players that I may never have met in my life, but I care about them so much. I care about the relationship and want to make sure they get an extra hug. And, oh, won't you give them a reward snack? And so I think was the moment that I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I'm hooked for good, for the real reason of the show, not just to try to be on or be a hanger on, but because of the beauty of it.
Yeah, the beauty of it. It is, the relationships are intense. I remember, I mean, every time that part would come on, I would bawl my eyes out. And then I was so excited to finally get to be on the show and have a visit. And then I didn't make it to it.
But look at you and Todd have now. So exciting.
But you know what's interesting about my family visit is my sister came, right? But when we put down who was coming or who we would have as our family visit, nobody in my family had a passport. So I actually put down my best friend. And so I was expecting my best friend to show up. However, CBS got a hold of my family and rushed a passport for my sister to get her there. And so I was completely
I didn't know the story, Todd. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Crazy?
So you were
That just gave me the
shocked.
chills.
I know.
I was fully shocked because I had no idea that it was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting though, like even though I didn't make it to the family visit or when they give you letters, they did give me the little packet of letters that my family wrote to me. So I still have those. I found them the other day when I was going through my office and my husband goes, "You're so distracted right now. We could get this done." And he was right. Anyway. All right, Corey, let's hear from you.
So mine is similar to Todd's. May 31st, 2000.
Wow, you remember the day.
I was 11 years old. And my big core memory, my first big memory of Survivor was when Jervis was sitting at the fire and said, "Tonight we're eating rat." I was like, this show is crazy.
And then
I
he
want to
said-
keep watching.
Do you remember he said, it's on
Yeah.
the break of dawn, like hot buttered popcorn. I remember him saying that about the rat. And I was like, done. He's
So
so
yes,
funny.
I was hooked after that. And of course, season 2 is when like my family started sitting down and watching it every Thursday night. And we have watched as a family ever since up until
so
next
cute.
week or a week after for 50. So yeah, that was my core memory is with when Jervis was eating the rat.
Eating the rat. That's right. And then Sue brought that around in the
Yeah.
final
Yeah.
council. That was brilliant, by the way, her little speech. If you
Yes.
haven't seen it and you're listening, you have to at least watch that part
Iconic.
of season 1. It was
Absolutely.
iconic. 100%. All right, Atticus, what about you, my friend?
So I started watching in season 3. I think I was like 8 or 9 years old. My dad had found the show and got us into it. So it was like back when it was on Thursday nights, it was our weekly Thursday night show. And I have a distinct memory of watching the finale of season 3. And that's when I knew that I wanted to be on the show because I saw Ethan win. I had been rooting for him the entire season. And I remember sitting on the floor, like inches away from the TV, watching this, like fingers crossed, being like, Ethan needs to win. And then he won. And it was just like, I'm cheering, you know, everybody's happy. And I knew then at 8 years old that I wanted to be on the show with Ethan. So
I love it. Ethan's great. Wasn't it so fun? Did you see his episode of Beyond the Torch? Just
yes, of course. Oh, of course I did.
Ethan's
Okay.
such a cool guy. Like he's
Yeah.
really, really cool guy.
yeah, he's been through a lot. Talk about a
His
survivor.
story. Yeah, it's incredible. So Leslie had come up with a whole bunch of questions beforehand, and there's one that I love that I would really like to see if anybody has one. And is there a moment in Survivor history that is underrated, in your opinion, that does not get talked about enough? Because I feel like we all know the most iconic ones that everybody's like, oh yeah, this when Eric gave the immunity necklace away and then was voted out, or Jenna and Heidi with peanut butter, blah, blah. So what is your moment that you think is underrated?
I don't know if this is underrated or not, because as I said, I'm kind of a little bit late to the party, but this is season 49 when Christina breaks down on the beach before the challenge. Maybe a lot of people have talked about that, but to me, that resonated so deeply. When Jeff asks her, are you okay? She's missing her mom. And he probes just enough to get her to release what she's holding on to. And then she talks about missing her mom and how unfair it is. And she talks about the funeral, talking about how many people were at the funeral. And then she says, my mom would say to me, keep going, baby girl. So my mom passed away tragically. And in that moment, I connected with her and I had those same feelings, like, it's not fair. So it was that connection moment. And then watching her in that moment, as Jeff is talking to her and the people are coming around her, rising up, getting stronger, digging deep. It just resonated with me so much. And then, I don't know, this might be an iconic moment, but when Jeff says, playing the game is the lure, but the experience is what is the real gift. And it just, wow. And I had to like take notes.
Yeah.
Like I was in a lecture. Like, yeah, okay. And so I felt like that was very, very impactful to me because I understood where she was. And then I also want to get stronger, and seeing her get stronger helped me feel like I'm getting stronger.
Yeah,
I
for
love that.
sure. That is beautiful. I do love the connection part, the family part. I think one of the moments, I don't know if it's underrated either, but like on All Star when Jenna left and that music, that
was thinking
ghostly
about you, Leslie.
music, that it was called Celtic Heart or something. I don't know. I found it once online, the music that was playing. I was sobbing so much. I don't think I've ever cried like that on any show, much less a reality show. And so that heart connection, I think when they're talking about their families, when they're talking about how much they love them and they're doing this for them, I think for me, I'm such an empath. I feel it, and I'm your best friend for life now. You've been vulnerable. We're done. We're going to be friends forever. Yeah. So I get that. Anybody else want to chime in?
I will say I'll go the complete opposite. I know that was a sad part, but mine was more of a funny moment. I think super fans talk about it a lot, but it's a moment that resonates with me still, and I still talk about and joke about with my family, is going to be Kimmy and Alicia in season 2. about the chicken. I love
It's
it.
a great
I mean,
moment.
to this day, me and my mom can be talking or debating about something, and I'm like, "No, this," and she'll be like, "Don't you wave your finger in my face," and I'll always run my finger in your face. So it's just a fun moment, and it's again, season 2 is so iconic for me, and a reason I'm a fan. So it's something that always comes up, and still, again, to this day, we talk about and makes me laugh. So I'm glad I
that's
went
a
to
good
Hearts
one.
and got to recreate that moment with Kimmy.
Oh, did you? That's so
Yes, we
fun.
took a picture with
love
our
it.
fingers pointing.
Oh,
So
fun. What about you, Atticus?
I'll go the more wholesome route. When Brett came out to Zeke in Millennials versus Gen X, that was like, because he's two people that probably wouldn't interact with each other in their normal lives, like totally different people, having this like beautiful connection, and then this like incredible moment for Brett, like coming out to everybody, you know, the world. I thought that was just really beautiful. It really tugged at my heartstrings.
Yeah, those
that is a
big
good
moments.
moment for sure.
Yeah, that's tough. I think it's interesting. I think immediately people who've been through something like that can just like feel it and understand the impact of that. You know, it's getting a little easier to kind of be yourself, no matter, you know, what your sexuality or whatever, you know, anymore. But man, in the older days, some of the things that were talked about, some of the things that were said, some of the things that were done. I mean, even on our season with John Robert, you know, it's like
Yeah.
he would not get away with that now. You know,
No,
it's nice that we're kind of
it's true.
Survivor has evolved. I loved hearing about all that. If there any moment that you guys can think of when you've been watching Survivor throughout the years where you had chill bumps, do you know where you just like
Chill
had
bumps.
full on chill bumps?
When you're strategic in your everyday life, you became my biggest competition. You had to vote out.
Do you what?
Keep talking about my final tribal council speech
oh,
to
oh.
John Robert.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You got,
Wow.
you got full on body chills.
Leslie was back home.
I was back
long gone
home.
by
I was
then.
hanging out with my family. Yeah, I was done. No, I do. I just don't. You guys, I remember. It's funny. I don't remember details. I remember how things make me feel. I don't
Yeah.
remember details well,
Yeah.
but I do remember feeling very proud of him and how he did his final tribal council.
Yes.
Just so strong. And I thought, there's no way he's not winning.
Were you
There's
still
no
at
way.
like Ponderosa then? Or whatever they call it?
No, when the first 6 of us were voted out,
Oh, that's right.
including Sharia, you know, she was the last one. And then we went on this whirlwind trip of China. So
Yeah.
we got to see it all.
That would be my
Sick.
moment.
Sick as
Which is
dogs,
amazing
but we
tour.
got to see
Yeah.
it all. Yeah. Anyway, anybody else chill bump time? Would love to hear about it.
Yeah, first of all, I think technology is trying to vote me out of this podcast because my gosh, it is awful.
Poor thing. You're being so strong, though. I'm so proud of you, Bryce.
That's what it takes to be on Survivor. You gotta be strong, right? But I think for me, I think seeing Sandra voted out for the first time, like it was such a moment that you were like, it's possible. You like just the fact that she won twice, but then like you get to Game Changers and she still made it pretty far in Game Changers. You know, when you're a 2-time winner, you would think target number 1, get her out first, and she just kept persevering. And honestly, I think the tribe swap kind of screwed her over in a sense that I think had that tribe swap not gone so poorly in her favor, I think she could have gone a lot farther in Game Changers too. And I just remember watching that moment and thinking like, oh my gosh, she is vulnerable, but like, what a queen, what a beast, like to still come out and do what she did. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, honestly.
You know what? That is interesting because I wouldn't have thought of that, but I agree with you. Seeing the Queen's torch snuffed was like, oh.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. I turned away.
You know, Jeff was like styled, like he was just like so pumped to do it, and like, but also like, do I do it? You know, like, ooh.
Oh my gosh. Atticus, what about you?
Yeah, I have to say the moment of Micronesia when Eric gives up immunity. That's when I realized like, oh my God, the level of strategy and like coordination that those 4 women went through to get him to do that
Iconic.
was the next level. Insane. Like I get goosebumps thinking about it right now. Like that is insane how the 4 of them were able to pull that off.
I felt
That moment.
so sorry for him. He was the most pitied man in America that night, I think.
And
when we
he's
watched
such a good guy. Like, I love Eric. He's such a good guy. And so, and like, here's the thing is when you're out there, you feel so comfortable with everybody and you really, you start to believe things. And so it's so easy while watching the show to say like, why didn't you do this? Or why were you thinking this? But in the moment, you don't like, I never once ever was scared that I was getting voted out. And that is the one thing I tell people not to do is be cocky. Like, don't be cocky, but I was cocky. And so I'm like, okay, am I just like giving false advice here? But I feel like I felt so comfortable then watching it back, hearing people talking about voting me out. I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that this was going on. So,
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the eras of Survivor because we have old school, we have new school, and I'm not really sure where you draw the line. Maybe 30 would be
1 through 20 is old school,
and then
21 through 40 new school, and then you've got new era, which is 41 plus.
Okay. All right. So let's camp out here for a minute because I do want to say my chill bump moment was recent with Joe and Eva when they had their moment. I thought that was so raw and real and beautiful. And I don't think there was one person who was watching who wasn't at least moved. I mean, the tears, I couldn't stop them if I tried. It was so beautiful to see the vulnerability. I love when people let the walls down because on Survivor, everybody's got their walls up almost from the get-go. And it's very hard to get it down. But I mean, the show does a really good job of throwing a wrecking ball right into that wall.
I will say, based off of that, though, it is going to be really interesting to see Joe play without Eva. I'm excited for it because I don't know what kind of game he plays because they played a game together. And so I want to see a different kind of game from him.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how he plays with some of these older school players as well. Because he's been watching it for a while, so it's kind of fun to see. What about you guys? What is your favorite era and why? What does that look like for you?
I have not gotten to see the new era yet, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to do my best to catch up quickly. I had kind of a chill bump moment that reminded me how much I liked it when the blind side of Dan buying the Davids. You remember? Like that was like,
That was a good moment.
Dan played an idol, and then there was this idol nullifier, which I don't think anybody had ever seen before. I mean, there was another idol. And everybody's like, mouth open, mouth open, mouth open, mouth open. And they nailed it. And the guy, Carl, was like, bing. It was just such a celebration for these underdogs because they finally achieved a little bit of a higher position. And it was just so cool. Carl, of course, then went off the deep end with being a godfather, but it was just a cool moment. And it was kind of chill bumpy in that I didn't expect that at all. And everybody's mouth kind of flew open. So and I like that middle area of those people.
And I like the way you said the mouth flew open because that's another thing I want to ask about. Because I think the thing that got me was when Suri had to go because she was literally the only choice.
Oh my gosh.
After all those things were, I was like, oh, what's happening? Like, it was so crazy. What season was that? I don't even remember. I just remember that.
Game 34.
Game Changers. Okay. You guys are such good fans. You're way better fans than me. But yeah, I do remember seeing that and thinking they have no choice but to vote her out. And unfair.
And I think that moment changed the game forever, though, too, in the sense that now production sees, like, if you have too many idols out there, this is kind of what happens. And I don't think we've ever seen that many idols out in place since that moment. So honestly, Suri, once again, being a history maker, and hopefully that continues on season 50. I love Suri to death. So, but I think she served as a moment like, okay, production knows how far they can take the idols. And now, like, let's bring it back a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Any other mouth opening, gaspy moments you can think of?
I always gasp when people come out on the live ending show finale and they look clean and well fed. That's a gasper every time. Like,
yeah.
Exciting because for season 50, it's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So then going away.
Good? Do you know if it's no, it's not going to stay.
Jeff said this is a one-time thing.
Well, it's a bummer.
We'll see, because he changes his mind often.
He does. He does. Well, and
The
he
fans
does
want
really want to do what the fans want. He really does want to do that. So I think we will see that, I hope,
Hopefully.
because that has been missed. They haven't been doing that, Tricia. You don't realize this in the new era. There's
Yeah.
no live
It's
finale
so wonderful.
since COVID, because they stopped doing it, and then they were
Save
like,
money.
"Wait, we just saved a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't do this anymore." And so they just do it live now, just like on season 1, where they announce it right there.
Mhm.
Crazy.
It's just lackluster. It's not
It
as
is.
exciting. It's not
Yeah.
as like, you know, I mean, that was several months in between filming and the live reunion show. And so that anticipation alone, it builds and builds and builds.
Yeah.
And, you know, some seasons, like I did not know that I won China. And so it was a complete shock. I thought it was either going to be a tie between me and Courtney, or that Courtney won. I thought it was one of the two. And so when it happened live, like, that reaction was real and raw. And so that to me is something that I will never forget, obviously. But like, I remember seeing Rob and Amber in All Stars when they were in the final 2. And that was the moment when that live reunion where I was like, wow, that is going to be something I do one day. I'm going to be sitting right there in those chairs, and I'm going to run off
Proposing?
the stage and hug my mom. That was the first thing
Oh.
that I wanted to do. And so I knew that from All Stars on, like, that was my goal, is to run off the stage and hug my mom once I won. And so I'm so glad it's going to be back for 50.
Yeah, me too. I think that's going to be really good. And I think they deserve that, because so many of those players, that's how they played the game the first time, and second and third. But anyway, I digress. All right. Well, okay. So anybody else have anything to add for that before we move on? Because I love this conversation. This has been so fun. I feel so like nostalgic right now. You know what I mean? Remembering.
I just like, now they're all kind of flooding back in my mind, but I think the one that gets me every time, and I love watching this, if this pops up as like a clip on TikTok, I'd always rewatch it. But it's when Natalie Anderson and San Juan del Sur goes up to play the idol, and she looks at Jacqueline and she goes, "Did you vote for who I told you to?" And it, like, that was just such a power boss move to do. And, you know, it could have gone totally wrong, but man, it was just, oh, it's like chill. I get goosebumps thinking about that one too, because it's just like this. She really just like, she was aggressive, but the way she did it though, it did like, aggressive is maybe not the right word. It's just like, what a boss! Like, holy crap, go Natalie.
Yeah.
I think
Natalie
aggressive is a good
amazing.
word.
She's
because
playing
she's
traitors like that
bold.
right now.
She's aggressive.
Yes. Yeah.
Very.
I'm like, girl, I would be getting rid of her so fast if I was a traitor. And the reason, I don't know why they haven't yet. Maybe they will next week. But anyway, yeah, that was good. She is amazing. And it's I always forget she was there with her twin sister, right?
Yeah.
They both ended the season first out and winner, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
That is
But
Mhm.
you guys knew that they were both on the Amazing Race together first, right?
Yeah.
So they did Amazing Race twice together, and
Mhm.
then they played Survivor together, which is pretty cool.
That is really cool. That's iconic, because I mean, a lot of people try just to be on it once.
For real.
Yeah, Tricia.
That's
me. Well,
I'd say the same season. Oh, sorry, Leslie. I'd say I'd back off the same season and say Reed's final tribal council speech is something I still
Yes.
listen to this day.
It's
It's amazing. Every time I see it, I have to stop and watch. I don't care what I got going on. I have to listen to it.
Is
Yeah.
that the wicked witch of
Yes.
the West, or
Yes.
wicked stepmother?
Yeah. And then Keith is trying to confront her or comfort her, and she's like, "Get off me! I don't want." Yes.
amazing. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about tribal council for a second, because we had some pretty crazy moments through the years on Survivor during tribal council. Can you guys think? I mean, for me, obviously, it was Todd. Like I said, I don't remember everything he said, but I just remember thinking he's still playing this game brilliantly. The thing that got me was when you told John Fairplay, like, you kissed his butt. And like in your answer, like when he was trying to like get you, I don't even remember what you said and what that would. Can you remind me what you said? to
Are you
him?
talking about like my final tribal?
Final? Yes, I
Oh.
remember this.
Well, so Jean Robert had threatened both me and Amanda that if we voted him out, that he would not vote for us to win. And so basically, he was like, "So why should I give you my vote?" And I was like, I'm, Jean Robert is the kind of person who really likes his ego stroked.
Yes,
And so I was like,
and
I
you
know
knew
that
this.
I have to say something that's going to make him feel good about himself. And so I said, you played the game most similarly to me. You became my biggest threat. You were someone that I couldn't have next to me because our games were too equal, basically. And that's why I had to get rid of you. And
that, by the way, guys, no, that wasn't true. But the fact that you said it so convincingly, and he was like, "Okay, you got my vote." It's so funny. It came out so hard. But let's talk about these tribal councils, guys. What are some moments you remember? Either a question or something that a finalist said that stuck with you.
I do have something. So like for me, like in tribal council areas, like usually we had our alliances or we had our non-alliances. But I do remember in Cambodia when it was second chances and they kept calling it clusters, I believe. Was it voting clusters? And they would all get up and they would talk at tribal council and I was like, what are they
not
doing?
allowed to
Because
do?
it was so not normal for us to witness this. So I feel like that was a huge change in the game where it was continuously happening, where the decision was made at tribal council. So that
We
was
weren't
something
allowed to do that. We were told we couldn't talk at tribal unless we were spoken to by Jeff. So that sort of evolved too, which I think adds a fun little element. I like it. I think it's funny to watch
I
them
do too.
scramble. I'm like, dang, I wish I would have done that. Maybe I could have figured out that it was me, that first one with Phelan. Anybody else think of something?
What about when Angelina tried to get Natalie's jacket?
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was going to come up. Yes.
Amazing moment. I am so excited to see Angelina play again too. Like I hope she talks about her jacket. I hope she bought a jacket.
Oh, she did. Yeah.
I hope Natalie gave Angelina the jacket to wear. I feel like that would be such a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Boy, Natalie was somebody who pushed my buttons. Ooh, goodness.
Yeah.
me.
Oh, I loved it though. I loved her.
Fascinating.
She was so great.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about the fact that Jeff recently said we're not going to have people on the show that people don't like anymore? What do you think of
That's the
that?
whole purpose.
He
Like,
recently just said that. It's not that they're not going to put villains. I think they will, but they just don't want,
That's it.
he said, I forget how he put it, but like crappy people, on the show, which I mean, I think he's probably referring to, like Russell or Jonny Fairplay, like all the people he didn't like or get along with. So what do you think of that?
I think that's the whole point of TV or movies or whatever. I mean, you're going to have a villain. You got to root against somebody. You got to have a John Robert or Fairplay or Russell to make it interesting. So, but I think he's gearing it more towards kids, and it doesn't want bad people or things. And
Yeah,
we're going to watch it regardless. But
of course. Yeah.
it's villains. And look, the best season of all is Heroes versus Villains, is what a lot of people say. And then even Jeff, his Mount Rushmore is Parvati, Tony, Sandra, Rob, all four villains.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
Gotta
And
be
here's-
clear about how you define villain, because nobody thinks of themselves as a villain. They're think of themselves as the hero and
Yeah.
going about it a different way. So I think that would be pretty hard to determine, because just as we talked about Natalie and Natalie's napalm, like Bryce was like, I love her, she's fascinating. And I'm like, but fascinating to watch. So who's to say she's a villain? So I think that's a hard line to draw, because I think
so,
everybody
too.
has redeeming qualities and everybody is likely doing their best. And so that's an interesting question.
Yeah. Well, and I remember them asking me in casting, are you going to be a hero or a villain? And I said, I think it depends on who's watching. If people, maybe there's somebody who can't stand Christians. They're going to hate my guts. But if there's somebody who is, I'm going to be the hero. I said, so I'm going to be whatever, the person watching thinks I am. But I'm going to play the game with
honest.
the
How
Yeah.
boring would a season of a bunch of heroes be?
character. Yeah.
Bored. Next.
Moving on. We
You
want to
need
see
someone to
somebody
root
crash and
against.
burn.
Yeah.
we want to
You
see. We want to see the John Roberts get voted out. We want to see that, you know what I mean? Like the Russell, man, nothing felt as good as seeing him lose that season.
Yes.
Like nothing
Lose
felt
twice.
as good. Yeah, exactly. It's so close.
3 times, really.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to know from each of you, just say who your number one villain and hero of all time are.
Yeah, there you go.
Atticus, who do you say?
I mean, Russell, number one villain, hate him forever. Like, I'll come out and say it publicly. I hate him for hands.
I don't think you're
hero, personally, Ethan, because I mean, he started it all for me. So he's my hero.
Love.
Great answer.
Bryce?
I think hero would have to be Suri, because I think her fight, her determination, every season, she just figures it out. But it's hard to root against Suri. Like, I joke with my friends, if I put her in a season with Suri, I would have a really hard time voting her out. Like, I would want to, like, take her to the end just so she could win, you know? So I think the power that she has, like, that is powerful, and I love it. I think villain-wise, I don't mean when I say this answer, I don't hate this person, but I think the greatest villain, I think Parv, you know? I think she is just so... And it's not, again, I don't think she's evil or I hate her. I love Parv to death. I just think she knows how to kind of weasel her way in. And I don't think she's afraid to make the moves and cut throats and do what it takes to win. And so I think Parv, with a smile, like, it's like, oh, it's like, how do you fall for it? But then when you're there, like, of course you're going to fall for it. It's Parv.
Yeah, that's true. And she uses her sexuality as a woman. I'm like, come on, you know, but I love her. I have no problem with her. I love watching her. I think she's amazing. I want to watch her. I'm like, does that work?
Oh, yeah.
Can I do that?
I just read her book, and her book is very, like, highly recommend it, because it definitely, like, she talks about everything, and I just think it's like, oh yeah.
No,
amazing.
I read it. It was good. I actually listened to it. She reads it too. On her.
I need to listen to the audiobook then. Ooh.
Yeah, it's really good. So
What about you, Tricia?
I think hero is Christian. I just love Christian. I just
Christian
root
too.
for him. I don't know. I
such a
just root
cutie.
for him. That's why he's my hero, because I just want to root for him. And I think the person I'd say that probably pushed my buttons the most, Scott, tall Scott.
We're interviewing him
Color.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're
who's
gonna
in the
do it
podcast
tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
He made
Scott,
me
That's
so
amazing.
mad.
What can I tell him for you, Tricia? What do you want me to say?
Wow.
Let me think on him.
Okay, now think on it.
That's funny.
It's like I gotta
It was
think about
just-
that.
He just pushed all my buttons in the way he was like, they put out the fire and they were mean and they weren't even repentant.
Oh, no,
You need to be repentant. Tell him that.
Feel bad about it.
Anyway,
I'll
play with
you,
that.
Corey. Who are yours?
I was going to say real quick to Tricia that I went to a sports card show a few weeks ago. If it makes you feel any better, I bought Scott Pollard's autograph basketball card for $1. I got it in my little Survivor collection every year. But
He laughs at that.
the guy was like, "Oh, you a Scott Pollard fan?" I'm like, "I'm a Survivor fan." He was on the show Survivor, and the guy was like, "Oh,
Cool.
no." I would say, I mean, plain and simple, like Atticus, Russell Hantz for villain. I mean, he's just someone to root against always. Just every time you hear him, you want to root against him.
Well, he's like a villain in real life.
Everything.
Like that's the difference.
He's still
Like,
on
he's
TikTok every
still
day talking junk
angry.
about Sandra.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
really?
like, let it go, buddy.
crazy.
Come on, live your life.
Hero, just based on the edit and like the honesty game that he played and his job, I would probably say Tom Westman.
Okay.
Mm.
It's a good
Ooh,
one.
yeah, he's a good. I love him. He's such
What
a
about
good
you,
guy.
Leslie?
Oh God. You know what's funny? I'm like, I didn't even think about it. I was just listening to you guys. My favorite. Okay, so villain Russell, 100%. Met him once in an elevator,
Oh,
and I just there's something about him that is like very difficult to be around.
Big time
you know?
villain.
Yeah, he is a villain like on and off the screen. Whereas I feel like most of the other ones, like I know Boston Rob is a villain on the game, but one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. Like so easy to hang around, really remembers things. He's just very personable. I just didn't get that feeling with Russell. I feel like he's always on. And I'm like, just turn off for a minute. Can you just be a human? So Russell's my villain. And I think my hero, it would have to be Ethan. I mean, I think because he has shown so much heart in not just how he played the game and won as a nice guy who played a loyal game, but then also how he, you know, just has fought cancer and started this foundation to help kids in soccer. You know, it's like he's such an amazing human being and just real. Like you're around him, he makes you immediately feel like you're my best friend. So go Ethan.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I have to put mine in. I have to go with
Yeah.
the original villain is got to be Jonny Fairplay. Like I love him to death as a human. I feel like he's someone who started that whole category. So Jonny Fairplay
Intentionally. He was
Yes,
so intentional. Yeah.
And then hero, I have to go Tina. Like she's just to this day one of the nicest human beings you will
It's
ever
true.
meet in your life. She is kind to everybody. She is generous and sweet and just a wonderful human. So
Yes,
I love her.
100%. I agree with all these. So it's really hard to. It's
But
like Corey
obviously,
said, you can't pick
Russell-
between mom and dad. Like,
Like Russell obviously
Russell,
makes sense. because
obviously,
is a villain.
it's like I don't
100%.
even want to give him attention.
And then
I don't even want to talk about him.
the new
But-
era villain, I have to point out, is Rome. Like he was very villainous on his season, but is probably one of the coolest, nicest guys in person.
See, and if you can separate it, that makes it so different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand if you play a game and you're a villain, but like, do you have to be a jerk in real life? I don't know. To me, it just seemed weird to me. And okay, here's a fun question. Have you ever met a survivor and the person wasn't exactly what you thought? We're not here to tear people down, but let's just talk. Maybe they were. I'm going to give you an out because I know some of you have big hearts.
Or surprised.
Or surprised. Yeah.
Like someone that you were like, I'll give you an example, right? I was not the biggest Angelina fan while her season was airing. And then I met her and I was like, you are wonderful.
So sweet. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And maybe you haven't met Survivor. I know some of you.
I've met I have done during COVID, actually, I did the Zoom calls that Sandra put on during COVID, which I loved, but I did the beach drop at Mall of America last year. So it was like Sandra, Carolyn, Rachel from 48, Genevieve, so so many of the great, and I think they were all, Denise was there too. Like they all were just so nice. Like, you know, taking out of the gameplay, I think the people they had there, they were so personable with the fans. Genevieve, we talked for a long time. She gave me tips on like auditioning, and she's like, here's just, I don't know. I love Genevieve. She's my favorite new era player by far. And she's just truly like just the nicest person.
She's fun to watch. I have.
She's so awesome.
Did you see what Colby put on her picture yesterday? Was it yesterday?
No.
It was on Instagram. Well, I'm not going to say unless you want to. You can go look at her Instagram if you want to see it, but it may be a spoiler.
I have to know this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. He basically. Okay, I'll tell you.
You can't leave it like this, Leslie.
Yeah. It's not.
You'll have to tell us after because you can't spoil it on the air.
No. I don't think it'll spoil it. But he just wished that he had seen her videos before he played with her. Let's just say that. Yeah, he gave her a little credit. So anyway, it's probably nothing.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of those things that they throw out there to make you think things that aren't true. Or not.
Yeah.
You know, and they can throw you off the scent.
Or it's probably
Anybody else?
everything.
Yeah.
I met
Anybody
the
else?
sweetest lady who played Survivor, and she's so genuine and she's so kind and she cares so much about other people. She is amazing. You might know her, Leslie Nease. That's the only Survivor contestant aside from meeting Todd on this wonderful call. But I would
Aw.
say, Leslie, you have always been genuine and kind and caring and putting other people first. And you continue to do that in this podcast and in all the different areas in which you provide content and love and support. So
Thank you.
that's my Survivor that I've met. She's
You
wonderful.
I'm the
are
only one.
Spot on. She's
Oh.
freaking incredible.
Oh, you guys go on. No,
Seriously,
You really.
I adore. Obviously, we do a podcast together.
Yeah.
You're a wonderful human, Leslie.
Aw. Well, and I feel the same, Todd. I feel like I'm so proud of Todd for one thing. He's been through hell. And to see you now, I feel like you're more mature than I am sometimes. Like, you're like, now, Leslie, I get mad about things. He's like, now, if you look at it this way, I'm like, shut up. I want to be mad for a minute. He's really grown so much. And I'm so proud of you. So I love doing this podcast together. And We get to meet people. We're such geeky Survivor fans that like sometimes we're like starstruck.
Great ambassadors for this show. Both of
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Great ambassadors for the show.
Amazing.
Drawing people in and including people and providing opportunities for fun. Thank
Yeah.
you all.
Well, it's funny. We were thinking when we started, I'm like, there are so many people who've been on this show. All of them have been through extreme casting. They've been vetted. I know they're not these horrible criminals that we know that they have a good story. They must be able to share their story well, or they wouldn't have been selected because really, and I don't know if you guys know this, but on Survivor, what they're looking for is narrators. They need somebody who can tell a story and look at a camera and be comfortable. And so every one of these people has been vetted for this because Jeff doesn't tell you the story of what's going on in Survivor.
Exactly.
The contestants do.
That's one of the things that Lynn Spillman said when we interviewed her. She said that one thing she looks for while she's casting Survivor is if they can tell a story for 3 hours, because she pictures them on the finale where there's so few contestants left. Will they be entertaining enough for 3 hours? So in your audition tapes, if you are a good storyteller, that is something they will notice.
Yes. What about you, Corey? Have you met somebody and you were like, what?
Yeah,
And a
so
good or bad?
I met a guy in Florida in an elevator, and he was horrible. I'm just kidding, Todd. Yeah, I mean, of course, I've always been a really big fan. And I've been to Hearts, and I've been on a cruise, and I've been to so many different places. I'll say most of the people on the cruise were very personable. I say there's a few that were a little maybe standoffish and not all about the fans, but I went to my first meet and greet maybe 10, 15 years ago, not knowing what. And literally before that, this little mantle here is all I had in Survivor gear. Like I didn't have much at all. I didn't know those things existed. So I drove 8 hours and met some Survivor players, hung out. This person hosted the event and was so very kind and gracious. And then I heard about Hearts, and then I heard about all these things. I'm like, wow, like fans get together and watch Survivor and play games. Like, this is awesome. And because of that person invited me to that event, now my whole room is all Survivor and everything. And that person was Leslie Nease. So she's the reason why I have all of this right here. But I drove 8 hours to.
You did. I
meet
remember
Leslie,
meeting you.
Sandra. Sharaya was there, and I still give her hell. She left before I even talked to her and took a picture. So I still message her. And
we had
make
such
fun
a
of
good
her.
turnout. Jonny Fairplay was there.
Jane.
Tina was there. I mean, we
R-
had.
R.I.P. Sweet Jane.
Oh yeah, Jane. She was
yes.
there. We had such a good
But
turnout.
yes, that
Denise.
yes, it was a very good turnout.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Can I get you anything, Denise?" She goes, just a case of Budweiser." I was like,
Denise,
"I got you, girl. Please
she
drink it
carries
all."
her backpack around full of Budweiser.
Full of
It's
Budweiser.
really entertaining. She is not pretend. She is 100% what you would expect. A
And to
backpack
be-
of Budweiser.
And to be fair, this is not Denise that won Survivor. This is Denise from our season.
Yes.
Yes.
So we don't get anybody confused. But anyway,
But yes, I'm grateful for you. I always tell you that too, Leslie. I always message you.
Yeah.
But,
well,
I
I'm grateful for you.
even
too.
at Hearts, like you came up to me at Hearts and made sure I was comfortable and would talk to me, and like you've always been awesome to everyone in this community. So you and Todd both. So
Aw,
most
thank
definitely.
you. I love this community. It's such a fun little life. Y'all know a lot of my life is pretty heavy right now in the other things that I do. Pretty heavy, and difficult in some ways. So this is when I approached Todd, I was like, I need some levity. I need some fun in my life. Will you do this podcast with me, please? And yeah, he was very quick to say yes.
Your
So,
picture was way over here.
yeah.
And so I called my mom to make sure my lighting and everything was good. And she was like, "Where's your picture of Leslie? Put it right there so you can see it."
I love your mom. She's so sweet. Aw.
So I have to kind of go off of this too, real quick. So you talk about meeting the survivors, right? So I very vividly and specifically remember meeting Atticus and Corey for the first time. So I remember meeting the fans just like fans remember meeting the survivors. And
That's
so
true.
Corey's was in an elevator, and then Atticus was right before getting onto the cruise ship. And so those moments stick with me forever too, because I love the fans. I'm still a fan, and you guys, I'm just so happy.
I remember Tanya Vance telling me, "Corey, I remember you remind me of Todd because Todd used to go to Hearts and ask for autographs and stuff. And I remember him before he was on Survivor. So
Yeah.
it's crazy to think Hearts was that long ago because that was so long ago.
Yeah. Hearts of Reality was a thing we used to go to raise money for Give Kids the World back in
When
Back
I
in the day.
went though, it was a different thing. It was the same idea, but it was called like Survivor Beach Party or something. And then it turned into Hearts 2 years later.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, but I did meet Tanya there, and I stood in line with my bag of buffs, and I was so excited. And I still have those pictures. Like I took them on like a disposable camera and printed out.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna be like, you should share those pictures one day. That would be awesome to see. Like you before you being a fan before you were on Survivor. That would be cool.
Yeah, we
I've got,
also
like,
need
the
to
pop collar and everything. Very, very 2001.
All right, guys. So with 50 coming up, literally tomorrow, if you're listening on the 24th,
I was like, what?
let's talk about what are your predictions? What are your hopes? Who are you pulling for? Anybody?
I'll start. Aubrey, 100%. Aubrey is my winner pick. I have a few people that I'm like really riding. Aubrey, Genevieve, Jenna, Chrissy. Like those are like, I think my top 4 right now. But Aubrey, I think, is coming in with the least amount of threat level compared to some of the other people that she's there with. Because yes, she's played 3 times. She got runner up. But people are thinking of her as like Edge of Extinction Aubrey. She was voted out, 3rd, 4th that season. She did terribly and then just sat on an island for the whole season. So I think people are going to be remembering that and not thinking that this is going to be co-wrong Aubrey. And I think she's going to bring it and take it to the end.
I think you
I
are.
wouldn't mind that.
That's a
Very cool.
solid
Yeah.
prediction.
100%. Love it. Anybody else?
I think for me, I mean, obviously Genevieve and Serene, we've established that I love those two, but I honestly think financial analyst Emily Flippin, I think she's going to have an interesting run. And I think because like I saw like people saying who their biggest threats were. And I mean, Serene and Genevieve caught votes there, but Emily has not really come up in too many preseason interviews from people. And I think that's to her benefit. And I do think like from her first season, her story, how it just kind of like she totally changed over that season, much like Aubrey did. And I think she's kind of got that very same arc there. And so with this being Emily's second time, and I think the legends are going to be going after the legends, I think she'll be kind of stepping back, but I think she'll still be able to make some good moves. And her preseason question where she talked about Mike White, if you haven't watched it, go watch it because it's absolutely incredible. She just she hits it on the head. So I think Emily's my winner pick personally, but still rooting for Serene Genevieve.
Did you see what she said about Jenna?
No.
Yeah, she called her like what she said, like she's irrelevant or something.
Or they asked her, they said, and what do you think about Jenna? And she's like, who? And they were like, Jenna Lewis from Borneo. And she's like, irrelevant.
I need to find his clip immediately.
I do not think that she realized that Jenna was playing with her.
Right.
When this happened. I think Emily is hilarious. If she makes the merge, I think she can do well. I think she's going to struggle for the first few. If she can get past the first few, then she could be solid.
Yeah. Love Jenna.
You know, I love Aubrey. I'd mentioned that before. I love Christian, so I'm rooting for them in some way. But you just mentioned Bryce Mike White. I think he's got a shot.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. He somehow found his way middle. You know, he kept the strategy of you don't have to be the toughest, you don't have to be the weakest, you need to be right there in the middle so that nobody picks you off. I think he really figured out a way to do that. He's a smart guy. He's a funny guy, very personable. I think he's got a shot of doing really well.
That's an interesting take. I haven't heard that one yet, Tricia. Very cool.
My thoughts on Mike White and him doing well would be this. He puts people from his season on his show, The White Lotus, right? They get little cameos. And so I feel like people could butter up to him and keep him around just with the hopes of getting a cameo on The White Lotus.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would be his best friend because White Lotus is like my favorite show. So
it's like, can I get a cameo? But just don't put me in a bathing suit. Nothing like
please.
What's the thing? Anybody else?
Sorry.
I think me and Atticus have a lot of the same answers. I would love to see Aubrey go deep. She's kind of like my second winner pick. I think Tiffany is Haley Ford of Game Changers kind of person that they're not coming in and like, oh my God, she's a huge threat. She's my winner pick, but I got my shirt made of who I really want to win.
Oh shoot.
Oh yeah.
Cheering on
Sari.
Sari from my couch.
I love it. That's
so
amazing.
her.
I'm hoping things go her way.
Yeah.
She could win, but
It would be nice to see her win Survivor. She
150,
swept it up on Traders. She just swept it up like it had been. Literally, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I mean, we already saw the best player of Traders ever.
I want someone old school to win.
Yeah.
Not Ozzy or Coach, but anyone else old school.
I think this is Sari's 20th anniversary of, I think I just saw a video yesterday or today of her saying it's been 20 years since I first played Survivor. So, I think that's such an interesting take too. Like, I feel like this could be her season, Again, she has that magic power. She just puts a spell over people.
She does.
Her
She really
personality.
does.
She's so safe. She feels so safe.
Did you see Jenna's preseason interview? I thought that was pretty good because she was like, first of all, I have to get rid of Sari. And the person interviewing her said, oh, why? She said, right there.
That's why.
Her response. Exactly. Everyone loves her. She's got to go. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Ooh, I hope she
These
doesn't
are
go
solid.
first.
Yes.
I think my pick, obviously, I don't know if you guys have ever met or spent time with Chrissy Hoffbeck, but this woman is so emotionally intelligent. And I have a feeling, and even more so now than she was when she played the first time. And she's a lot more aware of people. She's been through a lot. So there's some empathy. I think she might be the dark horse. I think she might be somebody that you might want to keep an eye on. I just know her personally. Like, she's the kind of person who will look you in the eye and ask you questions about yourself. And that there's something, most people who play Survivor, let's be honest, we all love to talk about ourselves or we wouldn't be on the show, right? And so when somebody acknowledges that and gives you space to do that, you immediately trust them. You feel safe with them. And I think she is going to sweep it up. I do. I think she's just going to do her thing.
Great pick.
Yeah, she's going to be good. One to watch for sure. But I also really want to see Christian do well. He's just such a cutie pie.
Yes.
Tricia.
Yes.
He's such a cutie. I just remember being like amazed at how smart he was.
He's so smart.
Like just knew it all, but like was learning about the social part, which I love seeing somebody evolve like that. So kind of fun.
Let's see. I guess I should go.
Yes, it's your turn.
So, okay, here's my issue is I have people I would like to see win, and then I have people that I feel like have a better shot. So I would love to see Angelina, Genevieve, Emily, Jenna, or Mike, or Sari, or Coach win.
Okay,
Those
so
are my-
basically half the cast. You're good there.
So those are who I think I would love to see win. Now, who I think has a really good shot of winning instead would be someone like Aubrey or Tiffany, or that's it, I think. But I think we're gonna see someone a little unexpected slip through the cracks because all of the big threats that's what always happens is they get targeted really, really quickly. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. The 3 winner thing is stupid. They should not have had any winners on there.
I agree.
That's
All or
an easy
nothing.
boot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're going to have targets big time for sure.
Todd and Leslie, who would y'all, if y'all were playing, who would you want to be in your main alliance?
On 50?
Oh.
Who's someone that, since you know some of the people possibly, who is someone that you would probably want to work with?
Oh.
I would want to work with Jenna. I would want to work with Chrissy. I would want to work with, trying to think of, I'd kind of want to work with Coach just because I think he'd be a good shield.
That's
And
exactly what I was going to say. Coach,
I
we
would
can see
never
top
want
stuff.
him to be gone because I would want to just go, look at him, guys, look at him. When you look at him, look at him. Maybe Christian because he's so smart. I don't know. And Joe, I just think Joe is so just authentic and trustworthy. He just feels like a good human. I haven't met him, but
I think that I would align with some of the more physical people because I aligned with people who are like my size or smaller in China. So I think I would go with a large alliance this time. Like so like Stephanie, Ozzy, Jonathan, like and Coach. So like big threats because if I was in an alliance with them, I feel like they would then want to go after each other before going after me.
Yes.
So I think that's what I would do.
I don't know, Todd. You're a slippery little sucker.
Exactly.
That's what they
So
call
like
them.
they would be my, they would be the strength because we all know that I'm not good at challenges. So like they could bring me along there and I could just basically try to tell them what to do.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
I want to know, this is the last real quick question. You get to choose one person that should have been on 50. Who do you choose? One person only. We're going to start with Corey.
If we're saying no winners, because y'all know who I'll pick. If there's winners, I would say Todd. But I would say the biggest, most raw person, and it kills me that Colby's on 50 without his lover.
Yes.
Jerry Manthe has to be up
My
there.
answer.
If you
100%.
celebrate, Jeff says we're celebrating 50, celebrating the fans. Like she literally does so much for the fans and has been around. And she is one of the reasons why Survivor was so big, season 2. Like she was everywhere. So I would say Jerry Manthe is the one person missing. If we had her, I would be a lot more excited. So
Well, and I
Jerry.
think Colby would be a lot more exciting to
Yeah.
watch. You know what I
that's
mean?
the correct answer.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But okay. So I'm going to say for everybody else, you can't say Jerry now because we don't have
Because
the
we all
correct
agree.
answer. So Tricia, who do you say?
I'm going to say Ty.
Okay, that's a good one.
I
Yeah.
love Ty, and he represents so much of what I love about Survivor. It's not always the big, strong person. It's sometimes the one who has the biggest heart. And I love that. And I loved watching him and how he genuinely loved everybody, even his chicken.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just so enjoyable to watch him. So I would have liked to have seen him.
A good one. Bryce.
I'm going to go. This is tough because I have so many names on my list, but I think the top one for me, and I think a lot of people will agree, Amanda Kimmel.
Obvious.
I think, I just, it's been 15 years since she last played. She's such an iconic player. We haven't really heard or seen from her in some time, and it would have just been a great celebration. And to see her and Sari back together, maybe Black Widow Brigade 2.0, I think it would have been so iconic. So I hope, maybe there's still hope for a future Survivor season for Amanda to be brought back, but I do think it would have been so good to see her on 50.
Absolutely agreed. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Atticus.
Rob Sesternino, hands down. I think we
Yeah.
were completely robbed of Rob C on Survivor 50. And it was so great to see him on Traders. Not enough time on Traders, but he gave us such iconic moments. When I think of Survivor, he's one of the people that I think of first because of just the community he's built around it with the podcast and everything. He is Survivor. They should have had him out there.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Solid choices, man. Look
Yeah.
at you, Leslie.
I would have loved to have seen someone like Jervis from season
Yeah.
1. Because I think season 1, I love seeing them play again, or even Richard Hatch. This season was the one they went in there not knowing what the heck was happening, and they had to adapt like nobody else. I would love to see more from season 1 play, just more old school. Not because I don't appreciate the new school, but because I think they're going to have so many more opportunities to return in the future. I think Jeff loves that, to bring people back. And, but we're all getting older, us old school people. You got to get us in there before we age out. And I would have loved to have seen just more. And if they do an old school season, I would like to see more people from that season. But Jervis was so entertaining and so funny and just a great guy. So that'd be fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I agree with all of these choices. These are really solid picks that should have been there. I have to also say that I want to see Nalia play again.
Yeah.
I want to see if she has grown and changed and will go in and play differently, because I think that she could really play a strong game. So I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, she'd be good. Oh my heck. She's so good.
There's a lot of winners I would love to see play again that I've only played once.
Yeah.
Vesepia, Todd, Earl.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. Good one.
Sepia would be fun.
Yeah. She'd be a spitfire, I bet. Anyway. Well, you guys, thank you so much for spending Valentine's Day morning with us and for chatting about Survivor. This has been so much fun. I hope you had fun. I hope it's a great memory for you. And we look forward to sharing this episode with the world. Is there anything you want to say before we close out today? Anyone?
Literally, thank you guys. This was awesome.
Yeah, of course.
I just wanted to say I'm really grateful for you guys for sure. I'm grateful for Survivor because I think it helps me unload the dishwasher. Here's what I mean by that. You see people go beyond what they think they can do. You see people push beyond fear, where the mind says stop, they keep going. And you guys, Todd and Leslie, you guys lived that. And it's really very powerful to see people do that. It reminds me that I can do that, that I can step beyond fear and insecurity, and I can transform. And so, you know, you don't want to unload the dishwasher. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do, well, hey, I can do it. I can do it. I can do those things, and I can push myself beyond that. And so I'm inspired by Survivor, inspired by the two of you and what you did, and inspired by the show itself to see what happens, because there's a next level you can get to always. And that's what I've loved about getting back acquainted with Survivor. And thank you for this opportunity to talk about it. It's been so fun.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
It's been so fun for me. I'm just super glad you guys are enjoying the podcast, first of all, and then auditioned to be on this. And then, you know, you've just been a joy. So thank you.
It's been really fun. Atticus, Corey, anything?
I give a quick couple of shout outs.
Yeah.
So first, shout out to Todd's Pop Shop community. Love you all. Second, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Milwaukee Survivor community. Andrea Belke lives in Milwaukee, and she's been growing, an ever-growing community here in Milwaukee. She's throwing a big watch party on March 11th here in Milwaukee. Coach is going to be there. So shout out to Andrea, Andrew, Amaris. Love the three of you for everything you do for Milwaukee. So yeah, just my little shout out.
Awesome. Love it.
No, just wanted to say thank you to you two. I can't say thank you enough to y'all all the time. I know I always say that to y'all or message y'all, but so grateful for Survivor. It really has changed my life. It's brought me closer to so many fans that I've met around the world. My family, again, we meet every Wednesday. We have our Survivor night. So shout out to my nieces, Molly, Sadie, Ruby, Adeline. We always hang out and watch Survivor. So I started my own Survivor org, Corey Survivor org, where people that have actually signed up to play in my org. We have two couples that have actually gotten married that met on my org. So really life-changing. And there's several people that are dating and people that I've met around the world. Actually, one of my closest friends from my org were flying down to Miami to go to the Survivor Cafe in a few months. So the Survivor cruise that we went on with Todd, and I met Atticus there. So it's really amazing. So I'm forever grateful for Survivor. It's more than just a TV show to me.
Yes.
Thank you, Leslie and Todd.
Of course. Thank you guys for being here. And on this fantastic episode, you'll notice today we did not do the fans have spoken because we got to hear fans speak the entire time. And we celebrate you as fans. We celebrate you as human beings and encourage you, if you're still auditioning, keep doing it. Don't give up. If you want it, you can have it. You just got to keep trying. And you never know when they're going to be looking for your character. So make sure they see that you're there and tell a story.
Truth. That is the truth. Leslie, 11 times you applied, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I applied 3 times. Like, if you keep going, at some point, someone's going to say, wait a second, that's what we need. That's what I believe.
I do too. Yeah.
Because my second time applying, even, I made it to finals and I got cut. And so I was devastated. I wasn't going to do it again. I was like, I'm not putting myself through that. But I couldn't resist because it's Survivor,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Third time was the charm for me.
Yeah. Me too. Well, 11th time. Anyway.
18th
I just remember
here.
18th. You've auditioned 18? Wow.
When I was 18, I'm 37. I've auditioned every single year for
Don't
half
give
my
up.
life.
It's amazing. Great. Well, don't quit.
I'm not.
Don't quit.
I told them in my casting video, I was like, please, Jeff, I don't want to be as old as Rudy out there playing. I don't want to be 76. Cast me now. I'm getting old.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, thanks,
That's-
guys. Have a great
you.
Valentine's Day. Thanks for being a part
Thank
of
you.
our little
Yes,
podcast.
y'all.
It's been so much fun.
This was awesome. Really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate
we-
y'all.
yeah,
This was a
thank you.
blast. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
good. I'm so glad you had fun. And you know what? Thanks for sending in videos. And guys, we'll do this again. So if you didn't get picked this time, do not sweat. We will look at videos next time and do the same thing. We'll pick the top 10 and then we'll, draw them out. It's much easier for Todd and I to do that because we don't want anybody to get their feelings hurt. But that piece hard.
I was like, I can't.
I
do that.
know.
I'm sorry. I can't.
Leslie. I was like, I get it. Anyway, well, you guys, we'll see you next time right here on Beyond the Torch. Thanks for hanging out with us and make sure you tune in tomorrow. Survivor 50 is premiering a 3-hour premiere. And if you don't have a party to go to, I know Todd's going to be in Phoenix. So
I'll be in Phoenix.
if you're in the area, or even if you're not and you want to be, hop on a plane, go see him. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today on Beyond the Torch. And before we go, I just want to let you know the story doesn't end when the episode does. Todd pours his creativity into Todd's Pop Shop, where he designs custom Funko Pops for fans who love Survivor and pop culture. You can find his work on Instagram at Todd's Pop Shop. And if you're in a season of transition with your faith, identity, or even just life in general, I'm Leslie Nease, a life and faith transition coach, and I offer one-on-one coaching for people learning how to move forward honestly and whole. You can find me at leslieneasecoaching.com. I also host a podcast called Honoring the Journey, where we talk openly about faith perspectives, doubts, questions, and the courage it takes to stay curious. Thank you so much for being a part of our tribe, and thanks for walking this journey with us. We'll see you next time on Beyond the Torch.